Welcome everyone to your September monthly zodiac reading. So this is messages from Spirit for the month of September for each zodiac sign. Also remember to watch for your sun, moon and rising just to get a bigger picture of the overall energies that might be around you this month. Remember, allow your intuition to guide you. This is your reading, so apply the energies where and how they resonate in your life. Let's get started. Hello Leo, welcome to your monthly reading for September. So your overall energy, we have Magic 3 and we have Bohemian Heart. Additional messages with the Oracle, we've got Wild Truth and Calling. And then with the Tarot, we've got the Star, the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. Now, Spirit's starting me with this magical 3. Now, when this card fell out, it was instant. I just saw an image of the three sisters in the TV show Charmed. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it. And the three sisters were witches. So the first feeling that I got was, are you interested in magic? Are you interested in the occult, you know, the witchcraft, with healing? There's a sense here, sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble trying to explain it. I'm just waiting for messages to come through from Spirit. They're basically showing me healing that is channeled through the teachings of what we would classify as a witch or as witchcraft. Now, Spirit's saying to me that witchcraft is coming through, that vocabulary witch is coming through to show how this healing will be coming through you. But it's not, I mean, you might be interested, you know, you might call yourself a witch, you might be interested in things like that. What Spirit's Spirit's giving me those words, but at the same time, Spirit's asking me to express that it doesn't have to be a particular way. You know, Spirit's just showing me a witch in black clothes, a pointy hat and a broomstick, you know, very a very classical way to see a witch, a very like fairy tale way, if you want, for a want of a better word. And there's a sense here that it's not that you're going to be tapping into. Not, some of you might be, but for some of you, you might be thinking, oh no, that's not me, and that's fine. It's the healing that is of interest here. And I don't know if you know much about witches or Wicca or witchcraft. There are different types. There are like the culinary witch or the kitchen witch, the garden witch or the green witch. There's a lot of different types, and basically they fall into different aspects of healing. And the healing is generally done in real connection with nature, Mother Earth, the moon. So it's really done in our reality, if you like. Of course, using higher powers, definitely. And it's very interesting how Spirit is guiding me to be very careful here. Okay, so Leo, and the reason why I'm being careful is that some of you will identify as a witch, or maybe that's something you've been really interested in, and then you've been feeling like, well, I'm not really that, like I can't just pretend that I am. And others of you don't identify like that at all, but you feel that you are a healer in some way and might not be sure in like how. And I feel like you're going to explore that. And I feel it's going to lead you to websites, YouTubes, where witches are sharing, or people that call themselves a witch or a wizard are sharing their knowledge, their passions for what they do, or the medium that they heal with. And it's going to trigger in you aspects of yourself that you didn't realize. So you might actually find that maybe you love cooking and you're especially excited when you're using herbs and spices, and you like to know what they're good for, and but you never maybe thought anything of it. And then suddenly you might fall on a YouTube, or you might fall on a blog or a book, and suddenly it's explaining in depth what you can use these herbs for, how they heal, all that kind of energy. And suddenly you realize, I'm so interested in it so much deeper than just in cooking, or I'm so interested so much deeper in something else. Some of you might be drawn to crystals. Some of you might be drawn to aromatherapy. Some of you might be drawn to work with the moon. And for everybody it'll be different, but that's coming through so strongly. And Spirit really wanted me to get that right. So basically Spirit just gave me now, there's an opening of gifts here. There's an opening of the gifts that you have come into this lifetime with, and there's those natural talents and abilities that you were born with. And I think that's going to come to the forefront in September for you, Leo. So let's have a look at this card. It says Magical 3, and it says help is on the way. The love in your heart attracts your soulmates. Sacred relationships make many good things possible. And the affirmation is sacred connections connect magic. Sacred connections create magic and healing for all. And I feel that there's a sense here that you are going to be connecting with aspects of yourself, I think, that you had either forgotten or that you just never really tuned into. And I feel, it says in healing for all, and I feel that that's going to open you up to a level of healing that you have never experienced before. And I think it makes you realize on what level you can bring that to help heal your community, your environment. It will bring something into the outer world. So there's something very big here about you tapping into those healing abilities. And Spirit is really saying to me, some of you have never tapped into those. You have no idea of them. You may never have thought that you had any. You might have been interested. I mean, obviously you're interested in something along those lines because you're here listening to a tarot reading, but maybe you thought, oh, I'm just interested in all this, but I have none of those gifts. I have none of those talents. Let me tell you, Leo, if you are a Leo that falls into that category, you're going to be surprised. Spirit Spirit actually gave me watch out, and I thought, oh, it sounds a bit like, you know, a bit heavy, so I thought, I'll put you're going to be surprised. But Spirit just kept saying to me, tell them to watch out. So Spirit doesn't mean as in watch out, take care, you know, be on the defensive or the lookout. No, it's kind of going to be like, this is going to, I'm getting the word download. So this is just going to, it's just going to download to you. You're going to read something and then you're going to think, what? Oh my gosh. And it's going to trigger something in you, but not like a trigger how we usually use. It's just going to open something in you. And Spirit's saying, watch out, because it's going to revolutionize and change the way you see yourself, but it's actually going to then filter through your life. So this is the beginning of something, or this is just before the beginning of something. Okay, now I'm really drawn, look at that. I was just really drawn to turn the card over so you can see it. I feel that this might happen through a connection, and there might very well be 3 of you in this connection. This could also be you tapping into your mind, your body, and your soul. You know, so it can be the 3 aspects of yourself that come together, and you have this powerful moment of realization of that. I never realized that I could do that. I never realized that I had that in me. Now, Spirit doesn't often call me to share, but Spirit's just asked me if I would share the first time I did my pick a card reading, and just over a year ago. Now, I had a lot of trouble learning the meanings of the cards. Not a lot of trouble learning them, a lot of trouble retaining the meanings of them. And I would sit there looking at the cards so focused on, oh, what was that again? What was that again? And often I'd actually finish with a headache. And now I realize I was actually blocking. But at the time, I didn't realize there was anything to block. When I sat to do my first pick a card, I just thought, Crystal, you've just got to sit, you've just got to do one. You just got to start somewhere. So I set up my camera and I thought, I'm just going to, and this is not going to be the reading, I'm just going to sit, I'm going to shuffle, I'm going to lay things out, and I'm going to do the first reading and just see how I go. That practice run, that one where I just turned on the camera and went, let's see what I can do, I ended up posting because everything just came to me. It was almost like I let go of the pressure that I'd been putting on myself and telling myself, well, look, I'm just going to turn the camera on, just see what happens. I didn't block myself, and I channeled all 4 pick a card readings, one after the other. And when I finished, I sat back and I was like, what was that? And I remember saying to my mum, Mum, I don't know where that came from. And it was only after I talked to a few people that I kind of, at one point, I think I said to somebody, I think I channeled. And I think they just looked at me and went, oh yeah, or something like that. And then when I sat down the following week to do my following pick a card, I thought, what if it was a once off? What if that was it? But it wasn't. And I have channeled ever since. And whenever I sit with my cards, it just happens. I shuffle my cards. I think of the sign or the week that I'm doing the reading in, or the energies that I'm calling in, but I don't do a lot of preparation. I don't call in my guides. I don't cleanse my space. I don't do a lot of things that people say you have to do. And I just feel that's because I don't believe in anything other than the purest form of channeling. So I don't attract anything else. It's very interesting. And Spirit's asked me to probably share that with you, because I think something similar is going to happen. You're going to be looking into something else, and then you're going to realize, is that a talent? I just do that automatically. You know, you might look at people and you might not notice that you see colors in them. And you might not notice that you know how that person's feeling because you're reading their aura. You know, and then suddenly you might be reading something and somebody might be trying to explain to people how to read other people's auras, or how to open yourself up to be able to do that. And you'll be like, oh, I thought everybody could see that. That's what it's going to be like. Your other overall energy, Leo, is Bohemian Heart. And the card says, you can love someone while staying true to your path. It is by traveling your true path that you will find what your heart is seeking. And the affirmation is, I embrace my unique path. And I think this is what September might be for you. What it might be all about. You've got the Star card, so there's definitely a healing here, and you've got the Calling card. You know, that's really falling into your calling, your purpose, but not just that. It's seeing your innate gifts, seeing your natural talents and abilities. And to a certain extent as well, Leo, I feel like you are going to be tapping into past life talents and abilities that you have just never tapped into. So some of you may find that you've always been a really good gardener. You haven't really read that many books. You just know. You know, in a past life, you could have been, you know, a healer that used plants as a modality of healing, and therefore you bring that into this lifetime. And those are gifts that sometimes take a lot longer to develop, because often, if we don't remember them initially in this lifetime, if we don't recognize them in the lifetime that we are in, generally it can be a good, Spirit saying, a pretty good indication that in that past lifetime you were ostracized, or you were punished for those gifts. Okay, so again, the image of the witch comes forth. You know, how they were healers. They did so much good for their communities. But there was so much fear, because there was such a lack of understanding behind what they did, that there was a lot of fear that built up in the community. If they can do this, what else can they do? So that's why our past life gifts often we conceal them, and we're not even aware that we do them. We just come into this lifetime like that. Now, there is a very good chance, Leo, that there is somebody coming into your path in September, or this can come back to the magical 3. Somebody that you're connecting with, And that can be two people or just aspects of yourself that you're connecting with. But I feel that they are going to help you travel your path. I love how these colors, look at these colors, how they match, don't they? There's this beautiful, you know, if you could almost feel this could be the back of this card, couldn't it? And there's a sense that, you know, Spirit's bringing me back saying, don't forget the word bohemian. You know, bohemian is, you know, when we think of the word bohemian, it's free, it's open, it's a real grounded, down to earth, but light energy. You know, bohemian energy treads the world gently, doesn't it? It looks after the earth that it walks upon. And it's very natural. And I feel that your connection with these people is going to be very natural. It's going to be very heartfelt. You might be connecting with people that have a real different way of living. And they open a new way of living to you. This can also be just a download that you get or an upload that you get from your soul that guides you to change your life to something, I'm getting the word simplistic, simplifying your world. You might be moving away from the city into the country, or you might be bringing more plants, a pet, more color or lighter colors into your world. Spirit also gave me here, Leo, that you might be changing how you dress or the colors that you dress with. And it's all to offer you more freedom. And there's going to be a sense here, Leo, freedom of expression, freedom of expressing your gifts, but just freedom of expression as well. Now we've got the Wild Truth card, and this card says, the truth of your being is much wilder than anything offered to you from another. Your truth comes from your heart, not your mind. It's an ancient wisdom from many lifetimes and dimensions, influencing you with astounding ways. Live only according to your wild truth. And I feel this wild truth kind of brings us back to this bohemian heart. You know, it says the truth of your being is much wilder than anything offered to you from another. It comes from your heart, not your mind. I feel, Leo, there's a real sense here that there's a lot of change about you and in you. And I don't know if that is going to filter out into your world yet, or if this is just you and your, I got the word bubble. So this is you, the way you look, the way you present yourself, the way you see yourself, the way your home is, where your home is. And I think that how your home is coming before where your home is. I feel that this may lead to new people coming into your life, to you changing your environment in some way. And that can be as small, my beautiful Leos, as buying a plant, having a pet, you know, bringing a pet into your life, changing the way you dress, changing the way you look at yourself. That's coming through very, very strongly. And I think if there's any change that you implement in the month of September, because I think in the month of September is going to be a pivot month or a changing month for a lot of us. There is this sense that it starts very close to you first. So it starts with you first before anything else. We've got calling, And the card says the calling that pulls you along your purposeful journey is one that cannot be ignored. To disregard your soul's calling is to neglect the sacredness of your being. Honor your purpose. Let it fill you and wash over you until you merge together and always live on purpose. And I think this is you merging together. So either merging together with like-minded people that actually help you on this path that I feel, Leo, you really don't know a lot about. But once you start looking into it, you're actually going to remember a lot, because I think it will trigger past lifetimes. So you will know as you dive into it, you will just know some things that you kind of like, I don't even know how I knew that. Or you will remember things easily, or you will just have a way of doing things that makes you feel, gosh, I feel like I've done this before. You have in your past lifetimes. So there is a real merging of you and others that brings that helps you along this path, or there is a real merging of you, body, mind and spirit. And I feel that it'll probably start with body, mind and spirit and then filter out to helping you find your soul tribe. For some of you, maybe you're already aligned that way. You're already starting to get an inkling, and then the people are coming in to guide you along that path, or to help you along that path, or just to journey that path with you. And you all help each other. You all bring something different to the mix. But you're all aligned in the same purpose, in the same calling, in your own individual way, Leo. That's very important. But there is a sense here of connection, real connection, especially in that word merging, merge. Now with the tarot, we've got the Star, the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. And I love that there's the Wands here, because the Wands is it's our calling, it's our purpose, it's our passion, it's what fuels us, it's our energy, isn't it? It's those fire signs. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning. It's the difference between waking up on a Monday morning and going, ugh, I've got a week of work, and getting up on a Monday morning going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do this week? And Spirit's asking me to clarify that. In this instance, this person is the same person. They're just viewing what they do very differently. And sometimes that causes us to realign what we're doing. Causes us to either change our perception on what we're doing, or maybe a need to change what we're doing. But thank you, Spirit, the waking up on the Monday morning and going, ugh, that is a guiding light. We look at bad feelings, we look at negativity, and we think it's something we should overcome. We shouldn't feel negative. We shouldn't feel angry. We shouldn't feel resentful. We shouldn't feel dread. But they are guiding lights. They are a beautiful guidance system from Spirit, from the universe, from God, from our higher self, from our angels, guiding us to go, hang on a minute, why do I feel this way? And I feel with the Star, this major arcana, I feel you're going to be traveling that path. You're going to be looking at emotions, feelings, and you're going to be going, why? Why do I wake up on a Monday morning when it's a holiday day and feel bursting with energy, and I wake up on a Monday morning when it's a work day feeling distraught, discouraged, lethargic? And it's actually going to make you see where there are discrepancies in your life, where there is maybe a change of habit, a change of mindset, a change of what you physically might be doing. But the star illuminates that. The star brings your attention to something. The star energy is very healing. The star puts a spotlight on something. You think of a star like a movie star. Now they have the spotlight on them. And you will be putting the spotlight on aspects of yourself, aspects of your life that need a form of healing. And I think you're going to be really surprised, Leo, because once you enter this opening up to what is, where you're just being honest and open and seeing, gosh, what really draws me now? Where do I want to take this? Is it a hobby? Can I make it a job? Is it just something I want to look into? You might have a hobby at the moment and suddenly you're realizing, gosh, this has become like work. I kind of tell myself, oh, I should be doing my sewing, or I should be doing my knitting. And what once was a passion, now you kind of feel like it's a should. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's just bringing to my attention, Leo, look out for where you should yourself. I should be doing this. I should have done that. That'll be a good indication of what in your life needs attention now. Spirit's telling me the Eight of Wands is here purely to say that when you start to align with your passions, what you love, things will move very, very quickly. The downloads, the understandings, the clarity, changes in you will happen very, very quickly. And that will bring about, I got the word debate, and then Spirit had a bit of a chuckle because it will bring up a lot of debate in you. It will bring up maybe a lot of, oh, sorry, Spirit, you gave me the word. I have it on the tip of my tongue and I've lost it now. Resistance. Thank you, Spirit. You may find a lot of resistance coming up in you. You might find that you're actually triggered a lot. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that what you're doing is not the right thing. It can just mean that maybe your expectations haven't been met. Maybe you need to look at those. Maybe this hits closer to home than you realized, and there are aspects of yourself that the spotlight is on, and you might think, oh, I don't want to look at that. So there might be a little bit of inner turmoil. And Spirit's saying, that's okay. While this inner turmoil is happening, Leo, Spirit is very strongly urging you to make no knee-jerk reactions. Of course, unless if you're in an unsafe environment or things like that, of course, that goes without saying. We're not talking about situations like that. We're just talking about, okay, thank you, Spirit. No, Spirit has asked me to share another little story with you. Please, Leo, bear with me. I hope you don't mind. But I recently started a course and I expected the course to be a certain way. I didn't really know anything about it. And it was very odd for me because normally I would research that, but I didn't even think to research that. And when people ask me about it, I'd be like, I'm not really quite sure how it'll be, but I think it'll help me. And really for the first 2.5 weeks of the course, I was triggered and I was just like, Spirit, I don't want to do this. This is not right for me. This is not what I expected. Spirit's going bingo. Because we place expectations on things, and when they don't meet our expectations, we get frustrated. But all I got was wait, wait. And when I would query that with Spirit and saying, Spirit, am I just procrastinating? Do I have a very clear idea what I should be doing here, as in like leaving the course? Or do I ignore that and keep pushing through it? And the Spirit came back to me saying, it's got nothing to do with the course. There are things that you are learning about you. It's about you. And I've come to see that. And I think as the weeks develop, I'll see that even more. So there is an aspect here, Leo, of be open this month. Be willing to see, be willing to dive into those things that might trigger you, those things where you might think, oh, not for me. And you might have an immediate resistance, pushback to. That's a key area to look into that. Wait, give yourself time and keep looking into it to see what the pushback is for. Is it expectations that weren't met? Is it that you think, I can't do that? That's not me. Take your time with that, Leo. An amazing reading, my friends. Not at all what I was expecting, but a beautiful month of September. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light, and blessings, Leo. See you next time. Bye-bye.